Good afternoon. I'm Daniel Bonham, Senate Republican leader.
And I'm Christine Drazen, your House Republican leader. Today, the Oregon State Legislature launched. And today we also heard from Governor Tina Kotek with her State of the State speech. What we heard in that speech was a doubling down of the status quo and the failed policies of the past.
If you listen to just the words that were presented today, Tina Kotek paints a very flowery picture of Oregon, one full of hope and optimism and a bright vision for the future. But if you look at her more of 10 years as Speaker of the House and 2 years as governor, what you're faced with is abject failure.
Republicans have a vision for the future that is about addressing the challenges that we all care about as Oregonians.
Tina Kotek's government has run amok. In addition to her authoritarian executive orders, her state agencies have put forward 500 new administrative rules in the last year alone, each one making life in Oregon far less free and much more expensive. Her administration is directly responsible for driving up the cost of fuel, food, and housing. Kotek's new taxes, fees, and regulations have resulted in an unprecedented closure of businesses throughout Oregon. And when these businesses close their doors, the ripple effects are devastating. Communities lose local jobs, neighborhoods lose their vibrancy, and lifelong Oregonians who once proudly called the state home are moving away in search of affordability and stability in another state. Oregonians, it's time for change. Together, we can do better. We can lower costs, we can cut red tape, and we can make Oregon more affordable. We can reignite a trailblazer spirit, creating an environment where businesses not only survive, but thrive, providing jobs, investment in communities, and a much brighter tomorrow.
And when it comes to education, Republicans have a vision for the future that puts students and their families at the center. For far too long, the conversation has been about what the system needs, what the bureaucracy needs, how much money is needed to continue the status quo. It's not good enough for our kids, and it's not good enough for their families or the future of our state. We can do better. We have terrific teachers in our classrooms across the state, but they are not being supported by a system that's adding layer upon layer of bureaucracy and mandates to them. What they want to do is help students learn. House Republicans, Senate Republicans will stand together to ensure that students and their families are at the center of this conversation, and we have a vision to help them succeed.
Many Oregon families are struggling to find an affordable housing option. Grandparents and parents are wondering where the next generation is going to live. Young people are giving up on the dream of owning a home in the state they grew up in, a state they love. Governor Kotek pledged to build 36,000 new housing units per year, but she's barely reached that goal in her first 2 years in office combined. That's not just falling short. It's barely a start, and it's completely unacceptable. Oregonians deserve solutions to bring the American dream back within reach. Republicans will continue to fight to increase supply, lower costs, add much needed capacity, and invest in a quality workforce, while also introducing tax credits to spur new construction. These aren't just good ideas, they're necessary action to meet Oregon's growing housing demands.
It's time to end homelessness in Oregon. We cannot accept a state where homelessness is permanent and chronic. Instead, we must have a vision where homelessness is both rare and temporary. That is going to take new leadership. Money has not solved this problem. Billions of dollars spent year after year after year, and we continue to see these homeless numbers rise. It's not good enough for Oregon. It's not good enough for the people that are struggling. We know that the people that are homeless on our street are also facing additional challenges around addiction, and for the communities that they live in, that addiction impacts them when it comes to crime and safety. That has got to change. We can rally together and insist that we provide the needed resources to people that want to get clean and get off the streets. And for those that do not, we must provide the accountability that it will take to ensure that our neighbors and our state thrive.
Tina Kotek claims progress, but the reality is far different.
Oregonians deserve better than the state government they've been getting.
The one thing we can promise you is Republicans are coming to Salem to fight.
Republicans are here to stand up for you.